Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series on the SP404 mk2, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Leo Coltrane wrote in on my sequencing the pads and FX with the OPXY for the SP404 mk2 and asks, is it possible to map the SP as the main sequencer instead to your OPXY? You can do this. I personally don't think it's a great enough sequencer to work with, so I don't know why you'd do this per se, but I'm going to show you a few things and maybe give you some suggestions or things to think about. First up, let's go Shift and Pad 13 and go into Settings. Hit Enter to go into System and just use Control Knob 3 to get over to MIDI. And you're going to want to have Sequence Note Out on. This will allow us to record notes into the pattern sequencer on the SP404 mk2 and send them out. And Pad Note Out is just going to mean that if we tap a pad, it's actually going to send some MIDI over. And last but not least, go set up MIDI mode, probably A. If you do MIDI mode B, you're going to get a larger note range that you can send across two MIDI channels, but that means you'll only be able to address 2 of the tracks on your OPXY. If you go with MIDI mode A, you're going to have each bank will have its own MIDI channel it's going to send out to, and that means you just need to change whatever bank you're on, and you can address banks basically A through H. Whoops, and you can already hear we're sending MIDI over. So leave it on MIDI A for the moment. We'll come back and talk about B in a second. I'm going to exit out. So you can see we're sending MIDI out. There is a problem with this immediately though. So if I tap this, I think it's this note. It's this. Yeah, we're playing this. Notice it's playing an octave up. This is basically playing an octave down. So if I mark this, if I go down an octave, it's fine. What's happening? Well, basically the OPXY is taking notes from here to here, and if you're sending MIDI that's outside of that octave range, it's going to, if it's below, it's going to play the same note, and then it's just going to play it an octave down. If you go up, it's going to go play it an octave higher. So you can do like some fun things here where so I can immediately play the same note, just getting a different tone or sound. Unfortunately, if you're in MIDI mode A though, you can't address where you're starting your notes from, so you're not going to be able to go make that kind of a change or adjustment, which may be a reason to go to MIDI mode B. But check this out. And if I go here, we can just see from the mixer here where I'm sending notes to. So MIDI or bank A is going to MIDI channel 1, which is assigned to track 1. If we go bank B, I can do the same thing, and it's doing hitting track 2 here because we're sending out MIDI channel 2. C, you can see here we're on. Oh, I went to H. Now we're on C. So we can see we're on C, which is track 3, MIDI channel 3. So I mean, I can play plenty of stuff here, honestly, if I wanted to, but again, like the biggest concern I have is I'm just constrained to these 16 pads, which is 16 MIDI notes. I can't go up or down, and I then have to use the sequencer over on the OPXY to basically pitch shift these things up or down where I want them to. So to me, in my mind, it's not that great. Now, if I go show you here, we'll go Shift and go Utility. If I come in here, and if I do switch this to MIDI mode, B, switch it to B, we can see we got channels 1 and 2. So basically, banks A through E are MIDI channel 1, which is just going to address everything in track 1. Oops, I gotta exit out. So it can be a fun way to use this as if you just want to address one bank, you can. And if I go hit it again, I'm just going to go to bank F or J. Or not, we want J, got to double tap it. So you can move around, and it might give you a little bit more, again, options to do things. And we can record this. So if we go to pattern mode, hit record, turn strength on. So, I mean, you can hear it's recorded it and it's playing it back, which is fine. But as I said, I don't know that there's a real benefit for doing this. So if anybody has any thoughts, suggestions, or comments, definitely drop them below. For me personally, I'm not going to be doing it. I'm just going to go set the settings back the way I want them, which is sequencer note out, off, pad note out. I usually have off. And I'm going to go back to MIDI mode A, because that's usually the easiest thing for me to work with for a lot of other devices that I use with the SP404 Mark II these days. Anyway, thank you for the question. Everybody, thanks for stopping by. Keep having fun, keep making music. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.